What's up, everyone? In this video, we have some pretty big news to cover with Rivian stock. Billions of dollars are flowing into this one, and the stock's up 10% today. So we have a good video today. There is a lot to cover. Stick with me, guys. We have a good video, and we're going to get right into it right now. So as we can see, Rivian stock is up around 10% today. It's blasting to the upside. Rivian is one of those companies that has been getting destroyed over the past couple months, but it's up 10% today. It is an electric vehicle stock for everyone who does not know. Some of their competitors are, Lucid Motors, which is also up around 8% today. Of course, good old Tesla, which is up around 3%. I guess you can say NIO, which is a little bit flat, but they're in the EV space, right? So Rivian is really blasting up today and bringing other stocks up with it because news just broke about how George Soros took a $2 billion stake in Rivian, and that's a pretty big bet. We can also see just by this headline by Bloomberg right here, Soros cut stake in big tech stocks before the sell-off and added to Peloton. So basically, he's cutting QQQ in some other big tech plays. He bought the dip with Rivian especially. And what's interesting is we can see as of February 11th, at the time this article was written, George Soros' U.S. equity portfolio was worth around $6.5 billion. If he took a $2 billion stake in Rivian, that's a pretty big, I guess you can say, percentage of his total U.S. equity portfolio. That's giant. So, that does show that he has a pretty good amount of confidence in this Rivian play that he bought into. And his total, I guess you can say, portfolio is worth around $28 billion, or that's at least what his investment firm manages. So still, a $2 billion stake is definitely a pretty sizable amount. Rivian is one of those companies that is quite interesting in the sense that, their trucks look really cool, and that's awesome. They have a lot of hype around them. The Rivian IPO was so hyped up, it was insane. Like, this stock ran all the way up to like $180, and at the time, they were the world's third largest auto manufacturer, and they had zero in sales. Like, I remember I was covering this on all the live streams. I'm like, they're the world's third largest auto manufacturer, and they had $0 in sales at the time. So now they fell to like the sixth largest auto manufacturer around there, but still, to say the least, they've had a wild ride. But Rivian is also one of those companies that, while it has a lot of potential and while their trucks look really cool, and even Motor Trend named Rivian's R1T the truck of the year, while they have all that good news, they do have some big things that they have to work up to in order to justify their valuation. For example, they're trading at a $57 billion market cap, which is insane, and it was a lot higher a couple months ago. And if we scroll down to their most recent earnings report, they have $83 million in revenue. Let me say that again. $83 million in revenue in a $57 billion valuation. That is terrible. That's terrible. So basically, anyone who's investing into Rivian is just banking off of growth, which can be awesome. Like, Rivian can be one of the powerhouse companies over the next 5 to 10 years, but it's a big if. They have some giant hurdles to jump over in order to justify that valuation. And we all know Elon Musk, and he basically said that they have a lot of work to do in order to justify their valuation. It's a lot harder to, I guess you can say, penetrate the automotive industry than you think. Like, it's hard to get, I guess you can say, wide-scale production and do it in an efficient way. And we can see right here, I hope Rivian is able to achieve high production and break-even cash flow. That is the true test. So we'll see what happens. And right now, it's not looking good for Rivian because we can see right here, Rivian has now produced just over 1,000 electric vehicles. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. That is terrible. That is terrible, terrible. Like, Tesla's production was like 1 million vehicles. So it's like, it's tough. So Rivian can be good. They have a lot of work to do in order to justify their valuation. And like, initially for 2021, Rivian was expecting to produce around 1,200 vehicles, but they couldn't even do that. So it's like, it's looking tough for them. While their trucks look cool and while that's awesome, it's like, are you really going to pay a $57 billion valuation for a company that can only produce 1,000 vehicles and who has sales of basically nothing. Now, they can grow into a big company, but you just have to understand that's what you're betting on. So for me, it's not a possible investment right now. Like, if Rivian can get their stuff together and prove that they can produce vehicles in an efficient way, and I guess you can say consistently produce vehicles, that's one thing, and then I might consider investing into them. But for me, it's just too speculative. And, you know, if maybe for you it's at a good price and it's worth a shot, but for me it's not, and that's okay. I have considered selling some puts on this one because of how expensive the options are, but it's not a play for me right now. If we look more specifically at Rivian's chart, you know, like I said, we have that high of around $180 back in November of 2021. We have a giant support right at $50. So if I zoom in just a little bit, you know, back on, I guess you can say January 28th, they hit that low of $50, and they've been holding their ground ever since. So $50 is a giant support. We also have support at $55. A little bit of support right around like 57, right around 57 or so. But I would say 50 and 55 are the major support levels. In terms of resistance, there's a lot right around 70 and a little bit right around like I guess you could say like 70 to like 69, 68, right around there. And there's a ton more resistance overhead if we zoom out, like especially around 100. That's giant. So Rivian, it has potential. The stock's up 10% today. It's decent for like short-term momentum plays if you wanted to play it. Like, it's a volatile stock, and that's good for day trading. You know, we can see like while the market itself is up 0.2% and not doing anything, Rivian stock is blasting up. So for Rivian, I like it just for like short-term day trades and things like that, but it's not really a longer-term play for me right now. To be fair, you know, Rivian and Tesla are in completely different growth stages. You know, we can see, like, obviously Rivian's fundamentals look terrible right now, but again, like, they're in different growth stages. So it's not totally fair to compare Rivian to Tesla just because, you know, they're in different stages, like I said. But even with Tesla, the powerhouse that Tesla is, like, it took them a long time to become profitable, and, you know, now they're just really starting to be put in like a really good fundamental position. But the industry that Rivian, Tesla, Lucid, NIO, Ford, GM, all those auto manufacturers are in, it's really hard to penetrate that industry. There's a lot that goes into it. So it's just one thing to keep in mind. A couple other important points to know that I wanted to bring up. Let me just pull up my notes. Oh yeah, so another important thing to keep in mind is that Rivian is partially owned by Ford and Amazon. So Ford has around a 12% stake in Rivian, and then Amazon has around like an 18 to 20% stake in Rivian. So the good thing about Rivian is that they are backed by some very powerful companies, and that will definitely help them out, and that's awesome. But still, just because you're backed by Ford and Amazon doesn't mean you're worth what is that? What was it, like $57 billion off of 1,000 vehicles produced? It's, you know, so just because they're backed by powerhouses, that doesn't mean that their stock's going to blast up. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with them. They're in a tough industry. Lots of fierce competition. You know, every auto company nowadays is getting into electric vehicles, so that's another thing. And like, you can like their truck and all, but that does not mean that their stock is gonna just go up. You know, just because they have a cool truck doesn't mean that their stock's gonna blast up because of that. So keep that in mind, and just let me know what you guys think about Rivian in the comments down below, because I hear so many differing opinions about this one. Like, I remember back when Rivian first IPO'd, like, I was looking at this, it was at $180. I'm like, there's no way I can invest there's no way I can invest into a company that is valued as the world's third largest auto manufacturer by market cap when they have $0 in sales. And everyone was like pumping this one up, and now I feel like the crowd is more 50-50 with Rivian. There's some people who really love it, and it does have growth potential. It has a lot of work to do, and there's some people that hate it. So let me know what you guys think about Rivian. You know, it's not really for me right now, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It has potential. But lastly, if you're looking to analyze any company like I analyzed Rivian and Tesla today, definitely check out that first link in the description down below for our brand new stock analysis dashboard. we have some insane things in the works with this one. We have some giant updates coming out, so if you are looking to find out exactly why any stock is moving, the dashboard's perfect for you. Like I said, we have some awesome updates with this one. The price will definitely be rising, and once you sign up, you're locked in for life. So when the price does rise, you're going to be locked in at that low price. And right now, it's only a one-time payment. So definitely check it out. It's that first link in the description down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.